y'all? It's Nothing Lightly, and we back with another episode, and this one is going to be kind of interesting. It's going to be funny, and it's a bit of a surprise. I'm Cease, and this is DeDe. We are your host of this show, and we're talking fantasy football. The surprise is that somebody actually likes it, and that is Deasia. She did not expect to like fantasy football. She was just somebody that had been, in a way, forced into it by our family. But turns out she's more into it than me, and I am a huge football fan. This is my third year playing, so Deasia, is it better than you expected? What is your quick take on it? I think it is better than I expected, but to be honest, I'm still watching the games with I would say a bird's eye or wary view, but I like the competitive side of changing the players out and actually just being competitive with our family. I want to win. I'm a competitor, and I think that's coming out. My competitive nature is coming out no matter, like, this could be hockey, this could be soccer, but it just so happened that it's football, but moving my players around. And I was doing good at first. I had got 2 wins, and now I suffered 2 losses the last 2 weeks, so hopefully this week I can get a win. I mean, it's just fun. I was in a really close game with one of my cousins. It was so close. It was like 122.6 and 122.62 or 2.6. It was very close. So that was fun to see some players that I didn't think was going to score any points. I wake up, they actually scored points. We still lost, but it's just good. It's fun to see the numbers go up. And actually, you was right, Sierra. It makes you want to watch the game. So I'm watching the players now, cheering them on to see if they can score some points, and I'm actually kind of angry when they don't score the points. But it's been interesting. I can't wait till the WNBA rolls back around after this season, because I'm definitely going to start a fantasy league. Because if this is fun, I can't imagine where players, when I actually know who they are, what they're capable of. Like some of these players that I got on my team, I'm just like, I don't know what they can do. I'm hoping that they can score. I had to get rid of some players today because I'm like, you ain't scored no points in 4 weeks. Like, come on now. I need some points on the board. So right now I got Justin Herbert. I'm cheering for him. I got Jamar Gibbs. I got Stephon Diggs. Who else I got? I got Jake Ferguson. I got the Jaguars defense, and I got a good kicker. I got Chase McLaughlin. He actually is one of my top scorers on my team. So I'm having fun with this league. Right now I'm sitting in 6th place. You having fun. That's the biggest thing. And I told you that once it gets going, it's going to be fun. And I think it pushes you to kind of get to know the players. You want to see, okay, all right, what is the report of them this week? How did they do the previous week? And this is a good, like, midpoint, because we're in, like, week 5 now. So you kind of, after the first 2-3 weeks and you still haven't, like, really put any points on the board, okay, it's time for me to trade you. Or it's time for me to move my bench players to a starter. So it's really fun, Deasia. Now, who are you going against this week? This week, I'm going against our brother. He actually is the one that really picked most of my team, so it's kind of like his B team, which is kind of funny. He got to face me today, and I was the one that reminded him to, get some of your players out. He had 2 players for a bye week. At first, I wasn't going to say nothing because I do need a win under my belt. I need to go 3-2. But I'm not like that. He set this team up for me. This is B team. So I told him, you need to get somebody. I don't know. He left his kicker in who's still on a bye week. I guess he don't want no points there. But right now, I'm projected at 58% chance of winning, and he got a 42% chance. But the thing is, every time when I'm projected to win, I actually lose. So, well, hopefully he didn't change. He didn't care to change out his kicker, so you're going to get some points over him right there. But I think, yeah, it should be a good game tonight. It's just exciting. We at the midpoint, it's going to get better. And I'm hoping that you can get into the playoffs. Yeah, because right now, let's talk about you, how good your team is doing. I think Sierra is scoring the highest points in the league. She's having games of 150, 145. It's not even close. She has won 4 straight, and right now she's matching up with the other person that has won 4 straight in our family, our cousin, but I think Sierra overall has the stronger team, so I don't see anybody beating her. I'll face her in like 2 more games, but my team isn't that good. I'm going to have to trade out. Well, don't jinx me. It's all fun, though. It really has been fun. And the funny thing is, in this league with our family, I'm doing well, but I have a league that I actually put together with my coworkers, and I'm not doing so well. I mean, a lot of them, they did have the the computer to choose their team. See, I take pride in like, okay, let me go out and choose most of my team unless I was like distracted in the moment. Then I let the computer. But for the most part, I did like take some pride into I wanted these players, blah blah blah. But I'm losing basically to the computer, and it just kind of burns me up to know that I have lost now 2 games. No, maybe it's one. I've lost 1 game over in that league just to people that have got the computer to pick for them. But it's still fun. It's still fun because it's like it's coworkers that have been vocal that they don't watch sports or they don't even watch the NFL. Like they don't know who these players are. So again, it's getting them to watch and kind of follow up. But it's kind of like funny. I'll be like, hey, you won your game this week. And they like, really? How did I do that? Wow, blah, blah, blah. So it is kind of a different type of excitement. And beyond just like, it is a form of betting and form of like putting wages or a form of, getting involved. But it also it brings eyes to the game in a different way. And it gives you something to talk about or something to have in common with people. Maybe everything isn't about the job so much. Like, let's talk about something else. And I think for our family, it's just been something cool that we do in the fall where now we're a very competitive family, but let's put something to that. Like, let's give us a league or something to all collectively watch and do. And I think it's kind of interesting. We're going to be meeting up. We would have met up this weekend, I think, but the Bears have a bye week. So looking forward to that. It just kind of gives you something to do as a family. So everybody, try to get into whether it's a public league or start some with your friend groups, family. It is fun, right? And yeah, it's fun, especially if you're a competitor. If you like to compete, you like playing games, you like to argue with people, joke around, have some banter. Really, you just like to talk mess. This is the perfect league for you because I really don't know too much about. But you talk a lot of mess lately. Yeah, I do. I talk a lot of mess, and it's not like I'm even winning that many games. If I was here, I would be talking so much mess. Every time I score a touchdown, I would be, what do they call it? Chant to the opponent or something that the app does for you. But I don't get the chance to do that because I'm not as great. My team is not as great as Sierra, but trust me, if I was scoring 160... Maybe you can do it this week, though, because you're playing Elijah. See, he didn't want you to say his name. Oh, well, you are playing our brother. So you're playing him. Anyway, it's funny because we do have a few people in the family league that are friends of the family. So you kind of just don't like, can they receive me to throw out some chants? That's why I kind of just, you're right. Because I was playing a friend of the family last week and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And that's when they end up beating me. That person scored 31 points. And that's what I was going to ask you. Which players do you see on your team that gets you the most points? I see that my quarterback, I have Josh Allen. You got like the number one. Is he number one in this league? I don't know, but I have Josh Allen, and then I also have. I want to say, let me actually go to it because I don't want to get this wrong. Well, the person that scores the most points for me is actually not my quarterback. At first, Justin Herbert was scoring the most, but then it's actually been my running backs. They've been carrying this league, and the people that score the least for me is, of course, my defense. I've been in the negative. That's why I switched out to the Jaguars. I had the New York Giants. And then the other people that scoring the least are my wide receivers. But I'm trying to trade. I'm trying to pick up and drop players. But it's tough because from what my brother's telling me, who really this is his B team again, he's saying that all the good players are like taken. So I don't know. It's just some strategy to it. I've heard other players, like, if you really want to win, you need to be trading. You need to be picking up and dropping players every week. That's how you win. Yeah. But right now, you're doing good, and you didn't really even do that, Sierra. Yeah, but I think that my players have been available. And then I do have Josh Allen that's making most of my points. And then I have Cook. They're both on the same team. So that kind of makes sense. Cook is a running back. If Josh Allen is having a great game, you imagine that the run game from the Buffalo Bills will. So they both on the same team? Yeah. So see, mine are all over the place. And I sometimes, like one game that I had last week when my the person that I was playing, they quarterback was throwing to my wide receiver. So it's just like every time my wide receiver got a pass, they was getting double the points because he's probably like not only getting a reception, but that could be a touchdown. You get what I'm saying, Sarah? They was getting double the points of what I was getting, in other words, if that makes some type of sense.
Yeah, I guess it could be a good thing or a bad thing.
It was bad for that because his quarterback was getting double the points that I was getting. His quarterback scored a lot too, but it was his tight end. I think somebody scored 30. No, it was his running back scored 31 points.
It could be positive if they're playing well together, but if they're not, then you kind of do want to diversify your team and have players on, But you also got to pay attention because if a player is out, questionable, or it is a bye week and you have them on the roster, or in your starting lineup, then you have just missed out on points. And you kind of made a good point today when we was talking about it, DH. If you're like for your defense, if you are in the negative and it's not a defense that you trust to go get, it's better. And just say your primary defense is in a bye week. It's better to just have them in a bye. At least you don't lose points. You might not gain points, but it's better than losing, being a negative. So that is a good strategy. I just think it's fun, and it does kind of make you think, but not that hard. You don't really have to put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah, because this is my first time playing, and I'm trading more players than you. So I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I think the hardest part for me was actually getting a team. Everything else is just watching the games and moving the players around and getting fed up. Like, it's no way you're in my lineup this
maybe
week.
Next year you will let the computer choose because you're going to switch it out anyway, and that might be, you don't have to trust Elijah.
Yeah, somebody else in our league, like, they let the computer choose for them, and they like third right now. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with the computer choosing for you. Because, like, some of actually my better players that I got, our brother actually didn't choose him. That was when he put it on auto for that round. You know how to draft.
But I just think you still got to go in. They can choose who's ranked or who's projected to do well, but you got to think, Deasia, Lamar Jackson is one of the highest ranked in fantasy football just in the NFL league, period. But if he's not going to be able to play, he's questionable. I think he's out of a couple of weeks. It doesn't matter. The computer can project all of these numbers, but it doesn't matter. They're not going to account for him being out or being available. That's what it doesn't matter how good of a team they put together. If they just not available to play or they're not playing well, with so many other factors. So, and then I like DH. We was talking about this I think last week, where you were saying the only critique you have of fantasy football is that it's so offensive based. You would like as if they had more primary positions for the defense, so they can get points defensively. So maybe that is a safety. Maybe that is a lineman, offensive lineman or defensive lineman. Something. It's not just defense as a whole, or even special teams. It's just the kicker. Like, you wish that it was more of they had a single player for defense.
See, that's why, like, when we get into the basketball league, I want to see how they do that, because this is a sport where they both, like, it's no defense. I wonder how that one works. From what I heard, that basketball, the NBA is a little bit tougher because they got so many games, so you always got to, like, change it. But I'm on this fantasy app so much, like, that ain't no big deal to me. Like, I'm reminding other people, hey, change your teams out. But I know the WNBA, they don't play as many games, so I don't think that'll be that hard. You know what I mean? So they might like have 2 or 3 games a week. It's really sometimes not even that.
Yeah, so you just got to find a league where people are already playing, a public league, or we can start one with our family, a small friend group, to kind of just get it going. It's probably is out there, but it's just not as popular. This has been out for years, so it is fun. Other than that, Deasia, as a whole, have you been following football, or you just been following, bits and pieces? Does this... Because I do think that you've watched more football than you have. She's just a Colorado fan, and that's it.
Yep, I'm just with Dion and Colorado Bluff. But I will say that this has made me watch more football, but am I following, like, their records? I can care less about how the teams are doing, to be honest. Like, I heard the Bears been winning some, they lost some, so I don't really care. You know what I mean, Sarah? I'm not following the teams. To be honest, I know Justin Herbert has been winning, but he ain't been scoring all the points that I needed him to. But I want him to do well, because if he wins, like, I know that he's been scoring touchdowns. But as far as, like,
Am I following the Chargers like that? Not really. I'm just following that player.
Okay. Well, let's just take, since we are talking football, I want to just ask you a few things. Just in pop news, pop culture around football, just see how do you feel about it. So, and we didn't talk about this in other episodes, so this is a great time to talk about it. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged. What's your thoughts on that? Does it affect football in any way?
No, I don't think it affects football. I mean, you just got more of her fans watching him now, but I don't think that got nothing to do with football. I just think like shout out to them, congratulations. That's all I really could say about that shit.
Okay, and now you have some critics are saying Russell Wilson. I mean, he hasn't been playing the best. The Giants, I'm not saying him. The Giants just haven't been doing the best, right? And I think they have now went to their next quarterback. But some people are saying since Sierra has, and I'm just saying what I'm hearing. I'm not giving you any of my opinion. They're just saying ever since Sierra has come into the picture, he has not been the Russell Wilson we know in football. So what is your thoughts on that?
I say sometimes it's just like any other sport. It's hard for a player to win a championship. You know, we talked about Allen Iverson. We talked about Carmelo. So to say he's won one, what else do you want him to do? He can walk away and as a Hall of Famer just for that. Do I think he's been playing worse or better? I don't know because I don't follow football like that. But I will say that whatever he's doing, he's still doing it. So he's probably doing it at the highest level. And I believe he's still the QB1 for the Giants, right?
I think they went with the other quarterback last week.
Okay, well, if they did or didn't, he still got his ring. So that's enough for him. I mean, football, at the end of the day, we talk about all the things around football here, but when you look at Russell Wilson, you see a family man. It just so happened that he's also a great football player as well. And to make it at this level, no matter if you third string, whatever, you get in for half the game or a couple of plays, you win in the NFL. Hats off to you. Congratulations. And don't let you win a championship. That's hard to do. The Super Bowl is very hard. Like, it's not like the NBA where they get 7 games. You get 1 game to move on. That's tough.
Yeah, it's one and done. I just had to ask you that because me and Deasia are both huge Sierra fans. So any slander about anything of Sierra or Russell Wilson, we don't speak of it. The only reason why I asked is just because I just wanted to make you aware, what the public is saying. But it doesn't matter because I agree. He has already solidified himself as a Hall of Famer. He has great character, great sportsmanship, all the things that we always talk about. He is. And whether, I don't think I said the Giants aren't doing well as a whole. Yes, he's the quarterback. He's the leader of that. It might have not been the season starter that he expected, but you got to remember, he is a veteran quarterback. He's not on the youngest legs either. So it's just a lot of factors. Do I think that he's a great mentor he is the person that you want a lot of young quarterbacks to learn, to stand behind, to learn from. I think that's what he is. And this is on and off the field. So that's just my thoughts. This is our take on fantasy football, NFL as a whole.
Yeah, and I got a couple questions for you since you asked me some. So these are just funny questions. Would you rather win your league, this league that we in, or that other league that you in, or see your rival come in last, if you have a rival?
I don't have a rival in this.
What about even that other league?
I would rather win. I think I would rather win I would rather win that league.
That nursing league?
Yeah, the reason why is because I'm the one that put it together. And I feel like I'm probably the one that cared more. It's not about bragging rights. It's just like, y'all don't even watch football. I really watch it. It's like DH asking somebody, hey, let's come out to the baseball game. Let's watch. I know somebody that's playing. Let's watch them play. And then they do terrible and lose. And you done brought people here. It's a bit of embarrassment, or just like you butt of the joke.
Not that they care, but I do want to win that. I feel more competitive in that one than this one. And remember, one thing I wanted to tell you too. This question is asking: is drafting a defense early ever acceptable? So that's my question. Is draft, like, you did that, Sarah. You literally drafted your defense like way before all the other people. And remember, our brother was like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. Why are you gonna go get a defense?" But guess what? You're scoring 150 some points, and your defense has a good part of that too. Like, you only put them out this week because it was a bad week for them, but they doing really well. Is that part of your strategy? Do you think that that was helpful, drafting your defense early? I do think that was helpful. I think that when you look at some of the few things that gave me an edge, if it's just like a few few point differential, it's my defense or it's my kicker, because everybody's wide receiver is going to make around the same amount of points if they do well, or running back. We all got the same, but the defense is where some teams are struggling, where you can actually lose. You're seeing in our league that people are losing points. So yeah, I've lost several points. I showed you my game log from the first 3 weeks. You saw 0, -3. What was it? 4 and 5. Yeah, that wasn't good. Whereas other people, like, that's okay if nobody else defense is good, but we seeing people in our league, some people got 16 points, 20 points on defense. I'm in -3. That's the game right there. Yeah. This last question I'll ask you. Describe your fantasy management style in 3 words. I gotta think about that. Like, I don't care, or what is your 3 words? I'm locked in. I switch out. I change up. It's nothing lightly. Oh, so you don't take it lightly when you changing them out? It's nothing to it. It's easy. I keep giving you 2, 3 words. And see, y'all thought that she doesn't talk mess, or she do. Even though her team, I know what she doing. She don't want to start talking mess, because as soon as she do that, they gonna fall. So she trying to keep it humble right now. But Sierra, I know her. She just as competitive as me, and more competitive. She gonna get going, especially when she play me. I know she gonna have something to say. We play each other, I think, in 3 games. And we play each other the last game too. Hopefully I am in the playoffs, but right now it ain't looking too good. Well, I'm trying to lock in my seat in the playoffs. You can see that probably soon. But I told y'all she was gonna. Didn't we do a bet? I don't know what it was, but I don't think we did no bet. Well, I did tell you that you were gonna enjoy it, and I think we've kind of knocked it out of the park. The ball is going and going and going, and it's gone. Okay, Sarah, that was a baseball reference, and this is football. You should have said, like, we scored a touchdown on that one, and the kicker had a goal. Matter of fact, what is up with the kickers this season? I just seen and I don't watch football like that, but I seen, like, this is professional football. Why are they missing so many field goals, extra point field goals? But remember, this is not even 40 yarders or anything. They at their normal extra point field goal range. Why are they missing so much? I don't know, but remember, just a few weeks ago, I told you about that story that they had broadcast, and one of those broadcasters broke it, that I forget what kicker it was, right? I don't remember what team I was watching, but he said his wife, like, they was just watching football, and his wife said, well, you can miss like that. You can kick the ball and miss that bad. Something along those lines. The next day, he went out to his high school field and started kicking balls. And I think he kicked a long, long ball. Next day after that, he hired a kicker trainer or somebody. And then he got an agent, and the rest is history. So, but he was a soccer player, wasn't he? Yes, he was a soccer player. And I think he was pretty... Was it professional? It was either professional or like Division I. A collegiate... He was a good soccer player. He was pretty good. He was very good. So I will say that, but like, football was not on his radar. And so now I really, like, I'm not going to forget that story. And almost another broadcaster had cut this other broadcaster off when he was saying it. But I am so glad he got back to that story, because this is what fans want to hear. Everybody doesn't have the likely path. Everybody doesn't take the path that players, and it's kind of interesting, Deasia. A lot of the kickers are soccer players, or they are they are good at other sports that require kicking. And so it is not the path of, oh, they were playing in college all the time, all along, or they was playing in high school. It's not always that. They find these guys, and just in this story, he was literally watching the game on his couch with his wife. So I love that story, but that's NFL. That's fantasy football. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's something that, it's like what they were saying. You never know what could be your hobby. It's kind of becoming like a small hobby. You know, Sarah, do I think I think I'm going to play consistently. Like, I'm going to play again next year is what I'll say. But it's something that's sparking my interest. I keep telling you, I can't wait to do other fantasy leagues, NBA, WNBA. I might just do random, just get into, like, I don't know, they got soccer or something, because I like to compete. That's what it's showing. It's like taking up a new hobby, a new sport. And who don't want to do that? Yeah. That's all it is. And it's good that it's our family too. Like, our family, we all into sports and compete. And even people that don't play sports, just good spectators, you know, it's just who our family is. So shout out them. Shout out our cousin for putting it together. And shout out you, Cease, for having a number one spot in our fantasy family league. I hope, if I don't win, I hope you do get it. I definitely don't want Elijah to win, because that means he could have made my team better, because this is B team. Anyway, that's Nothing Lightly. Thank you all for listening. If you're not tuned in, you can follow us on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Please keep listening to us. Tell us in the chat how your fantasy football league is doing. Or if you're looking forward to being in other fantasy leagues like the NBA, the WNBA, Unrivaled if they got one, or even soccer leagues. Let us know your different tricks and how you trade players around. We always try to learn and just have fun. At the end of the day, take up a new hobby. This is Nothing Lightly. Have a good one.